Hi, I'm Lucy Shamaro and I'm one of the course team leaders here at Milton Keynes College, and today I'm going to show you how to make crème caramel. To start with, we're going to prepare our moulds, and we are just going to simply use a little bit of vegetable oil and rub that inside the ring, making sure you get a nice even coat. I'm going to prepare myself up about 4 Darios. And 1 for luck. And then I'm going to go and make my caramel. So I've got myself a nice clean saucepan here which has been cleaned to make sure there is no impurities, and I'm going to go in with my sugar, my first lot of water, and a touch of lemon juice. Now, your normal instinct would be to put a spoon in there to give it a stir, but leave it be. You can give it a little shake, but as soon as you put a piece of equipment in there, it will start to crystallize. So the lemon juice helps to stabilize the sugar, preventing crystals from forming during this process. It can also add a nice flavor to the sugar because as it's a dessert, it's quite rich, and that lemon will actually cut through and give it a nice flavor and not make it too sickly. So we're getting to the point now where the sugar crystals have started to dissolve, and you're going to start heading up to boiling point. At this stage, it's all about the evaporation of water and the caramel to take place. And what you'll notice at this stage, as it comes to boil, your bubbles are going to be quite large and open in structure, and you've got this kind of microfoam around the edge. When it starts getting to the point where it will start heading towards caramel and all the water is evaporated, then you will notice that this microfoam that's happening around the edge starts to disappear, and you get quite large bubbling. So as you can see, it's now gone from having that microfoam around the edge, and the majority of the water has now evaporated out. It's just going to take a short couple more minutes for it to go up to a golden amber colour. So it's a little bit of a waiting game, but just making sure you regularly give a small amount of movement into that sugar, but still not adding in any utensils. If you add a utensil, utensils will carry impurities on them, which can give a foundation for sugar crystals to start to form, therefore crystallizing the whole batch of sugar. So just a simple stir is more than enough. So as you can see, if I just tilt the pan, you can see it's now starting to get like a slight yellowy hue to the sugar. That tells me it's going to turn, and when it turns quite quickly, so you do not walk away, don't leave it, as that process in colour happens incredibly quickly, especially on something like this, which is an induction hob. Okay, once you've got yourself to colour, I'm going to add in my second batch of water. Now this second batch of water you're adding is going to loosen up your caramel and make the caramel a bit softer. If you don't do this stage, you will end up with a hard puck of sugar in the base of your mould, which you will not be able to remove when you turn out your crème caramel. As you can see, I've just kept it off the stove. I keep it moving round. And as you can see, it's got a lovely amber hue and it's still quite liquidy. I'm going to pour this into my mould while it's still hot. And I'm going to place these into the fridge to allow them to cool before adding my custard. So for the next bit, I'm going to make my custard for my creme caramels. I'm going to start by just giving my eggs a little mix up or a little whisk. Now, if you don't do this, as soon as the sugar gets added to this egg base, it will start to cook the yolks and you will end up with little orange flecks. I'm going to go in with my sugar. And my vanilla. And then into this I'm going to add my milk. Making sure just to scrape down. And then I'm going to pour my mixture back into the jug with a chinois, just to ensure we've removed any shell or any lumps from my custard. You then take your sugar from the fridge, and what you'll find, you can see it's still a little bit tacky and soft, but it's firm. Using a spoon, you're going to pour your mixture into the mold, using a spoon to help cascade that mixture in to prevent any indentations into the sugar and affecting that finished product. If you've got a little bit mix left over, just share it out amongst the rest of the moulds. I'm then going to add water to this tray and place it into the oven at 150 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour until the custard is set and ready to be turned out. So my creme caramels have now finished cooling. They were cooked at 160 for 40 minutes until they had very little movement left in them, but a slight wobble. To remove them, I'm just going to simply take my finger around the edge of the creme caramel, releasing it all the way around. Now, to ensure we can still remove that sugar as well, I have a pan of hot water here, and I'm just going to dip the base of where the sugar is into that hot water just to warm the sugar element up so it will come out easily. So just looking for it to feel warm to the touch. And the next part is going to be a really, really quick motion. You're going to take your pudding in your hand, you're going to cup it with your hand to support it, and it's going to be one quick motion from up to down over your bowl as not to lose any of the syrup. I think that's ready. So over your bowl, straight over. And with the syrup that's left, just drizzle it over your plate. Give it a little clean up, and you're good to go.